Hi, I'm Greg McIntyre with McIntyre Elder Law. I'm joined by co-counsel Haley Matson. Hello, Haley.
Hi, Greg. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. So we're going to talk about the high cost of nursing homes in 2025 and how you can plan ahead to protect your hard-earned money and property, your retirement and your home, those things. So, Haley, how expensive is a stay in a nursing home per month or year?
It really depends on where you are, but pretty much anywhere in North Carolina, a 1 month stay at a nursing home is going to cost you anywhere from $8,000 to like 13. It can get really, really expensive. And that's like a yearly cost of almost $150,000.
So it can get really expensive.
Yeah, it can
That's
get really
correct. So it can get, $100,000 to $150,000 a year. You can start to really spend down someone's assets or force the sale of their home to pay for that care. And that's a scary proposition, especially for a married couple or for someone who really wants to protect their assets to lead to the next generation, or, just to keep and have and control because they worked very hard for it. So knowing the expense, what percentage of people over 65 right now are going to need some type of long-term care in their lives?
Probably around 70 to 80%.
70%, according to a 2005 Department of Health and Human Services study. 70% of people over 65 in America are going to need some type of long-term care. Long-term care, really, they're defining as in-home assisted living or nursing home care, right? So if I told you there was a 70% chance that a meteor was going to hit your office and come through that window right now, would you move?
I would move.
You probably would move if you believe that, right? Yeah. So it's how do I move? If I know this, if I'm over 65 right now, if I'm worried about the high cost of long-term care, if I care about protecting my assets, if I want to have control of them, I want to keep my house, I want to maybe consider qualifying for a benefit that I paid for many times over again with my tax dollars during my life.
Yeah.
What are my options in 2025?
First thing that I would suggest, and the first thing I would do, is I would go see an estate planning attorney as soon as possible. I would go see one who can set me up with some sort of like trust if we're at that point where maybe I don't need care in the next 5 years. Maybe we can look at other options to protect our assets, like ladybird deed on the home. And maybe we can even do that benefits planning prior to needing to actually get into care. Because that's the way that you're going to save the most of your assets, by doing it early.
So planning ahead, right? Planning ahead is best.
Yeah.
Preparation is better than cramming the night before for the test, right?
Absolutely.
So yeah, I'm going to do better on the test, right? As long as I'm prepared, do better for anything. So if I come to you and I want to plan ahead, let's talk about trust. What might I put in trust? Would I put my house in trust? Let's say I have some investment accounts, I have some CDs. I can put all those in trust, right?
Yep. You can put all of them in trust.
Okay. And I can set that trust up. You guys know how to set that up so that it's, according to the benefits rules, not countable as my asset, right?
Yes. You got to do it early, though. If we're looking at benefits, there is that like 5-year look back period. So for that irrevocable trust, which is the one that will get those assets out of your name, you just want to make sure you do that as early as possible. But we can absolutely set you up with that.
No time like the present, right? So being present planning, that's what we want to do. We want to show up early. We want to show up now. We want to be fully present and take inventory of what we have, the people in our lives, the assets, and then start to formulate our goals and how we want the plan to look to protect what we have stay in control, hopefully, of what we have, and access a benefit to pay for long-term care, set ourselves up for success, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if I start out on a path and the path is toward staying in control of assets, keeping my assets, qualifying for long-term care benefits, it's important that I set the course early so that I end up in the right place, right?
Yes, sir.
A few
Absolutely.
degrees off and we could end up in the wrong place in a journey of 5 that takes 5 years, right?
Yep.
So it's important to plan correctly. And then what about the house? I have heard a lot about this Ladybird deed, the enhanced life estate deed. Tell me how that works.
So the Ladybird deed, or the enhanced life estate deed, is going to allow you to own and live in your home for the rest of your life until you and or your spouse passes away. And then it gives a beneficiary who's listed on the deed your home. So it works a lot like a pay on death for a bank account, where they really can't access the home. They don't have any rights to sell it or anything like that until after you, and if maybe a spouse is listed on your deed, until both of you pass away. It gives you a lot of freedom.
And then it
also
belongs to the kids. Then it belongs to my kids if I put them on there.
Yeah, then it belongs to your kids.
And even if I access a benefit, me and my wife, let's say North Carolina, Medicaid, nobody can come back and take it from me or from the kids?
Doesn't go through probate, so it's safe for the kids.
Because probate, what's the deal with probate? Probate's that only window, isn't it, where claims can attach to your estate when you leave those assets to go through probate, right?
Yep.
Now, let's say I need a benefit. Can you guys handle at the time, me, my wife, if we come to you, somebody comes to you, my agent under a power of attorney, they come to you, we set that up. Can you guys handle activating the benefit for me?
Yeah, that's absolutely something that we can handle.
Okay.
We do that frequently. Yeah.
So you have a benefits department. We handle that, right?
We have a whole benefits department with some awesome, super knowledgeable people. So we work on it all the time and we have plenty of experience.
So, I feel like we've built the whole structure here, but I've forgotten to talk about foundations. I don't want to skip over those. Hey, I don't want to wind up in guardianship here. If something happens to me, I want to make sure that if something does happen to me and I need assisted living, nursing home care, I want to avoid those costs. Even if I fail to do some planning, hey, I don't want to get stuck without all our assets frozen, me and my wife, things like that. I want to make sure I appoint the right person to make my healthcare decisions. I want to make sure they can work with you.
Yeah.
They need to protect assets and activate benefits for me.
Yeah.
How do I do that?
You're going to need to get a general durable power of attorney, which is an agent who can handle your financial and your legal matters. And then you're also going to want a healthcare power of attorney, an agent who can handle your healthcare matters. And just in case you want it to be the same person, that is totally fine. You can have the same person be both, but that gives them the right to access your financial and legal stuff, and also gives them the authority to help you make healthcare decisions when you no longer can.
That is awesome.
It is awesome.
Sounds like you guys have a comprehensive estate planning and elder law practice.
I think we do.
I know we do. Hey,
Yep.
That was a fun exercise. Thank you, Attorney Mattson. Attorney Mattson is a phenomenal attorney and extremely sharp. I'm blessed to be able to work with her. Thank you for doing this educational video with me, Attorney Mattson. So at our firm at McIntyre Elder Law, that's what we handle. We understand the high cost of long-term care. We do estate planning across the board for all kinds of issues, but we understand that we need to keep one eye on the high cost of long-term care, on preserving assets, and on opening yourself and the client up to benefits so that you have a good experience in your life. You have peace of mind, and we want your life to be made easier with the ability to pay for care and not have to lose everything you've worked for your entire life. I think that's a travesty, and that's essentially what our practice is based around, is helping you avoid those situations. We will be glad to offer a free consultation to sit down with one of our attorneys, including me or Attorney Mattson. You can schedule directly on our calendars by going to That's MikeCharlieElderLaw.com, McElderLaw.com/scheduling, or you can please give us a call, 1-888-999-6600, and one of our great folks will help you schedule that consultation. So thanks, Attorney Mattson, and we'll see you next week on the Elder Law Report.
Sounds good. Thank you.